This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Okay, a guitarist I've never featured on the channel before is Ritchie Sambora, so I thought I'd redress that balance today. Ritchie described himself in a guitar magazine, I think it was Guitarist magazine interview in the early 90s, I think, as being the master of the short guitar solo. And that is perfectly summed up in today's little solo that we're looking at. I've got to tell you, I'm not the biggest Bon Jovi fan, but I do love Ritchie's playing, and I can highly recommend checking out his solo output. I've got a couple of his albums, Stranger in This Town and Undiscovered Soul. Very, very well worth checking out, as I say. Anyway, as I say, the art of the short guitar solo is, I think, nowhere better exemplified than in this solo from Bon Jovi's In These Arms. Here's the solo, and then a bit of an explanation as to what's going on in the solo. Okay, let's see what we got going on here then. As always, let's begin with the chord sequence. There it is right there on screen, and you can see that it's, let me just move the camera. You can see that it's an E to a B to a C sharp minor to an A. How many times have we seen that chord sequence? And then back to an E to a B. Then F sharp minor, back to the A, and then we come out of the solo on the B chord, which is kind of the 5 chord in the key of E major, and that sets up the kind of move into the next chorus, I believe, that comes after this. So we're all in the key of E major here, and it's an E major tonality, so no surprises. For the scale we're going to use the E major pentatonic. Basically it's going to be this shape up here. E major pentatonic, also known as C sharp minor pentatonic, but we're using it in its E major kind of identity here. And we start with some licks in this pattern that go like this. And notice how he kind of concludes that little phrase there on the F sharp note. Okay, he starts by bigging up the E note and the G sharp note because they are in the E major chord. He's playing over at that point there, and when we reach this note here, this F sharp, it's because we've landed on a B major chord which has an F sharp note in it. So you're going to see this throughout the solo, really, where he's any note that he's kind of landing on and, you know, kind of prioritizing and staying there for a while, it's usually because, well, always because it's there in the underlying chord. We've seen this phenomenon many times in these little solo analysis kind of things. So we've got and now we come up to this big B to C sharp bend here, because we've landed on a C sharp minor chord, you know. And then we have the first little kind of busy, I wouldn't call it sort of flashy or shreddy bit of the solo, but it's just a bit busier than what we've got so far, where it goes. There it is in slow motion. And that sort of concludes the first half of the solo, really. And for the second half of the solo, he moves up to this position of E major pentatonic. And we begin with this lick, which is almost, but not quite, one or two notes at the beginning aside, but it's basically the same sort of idea as he started off with in the beginning of the solo, just an octave higher. Okay, it's just moving up an octave halfway through a solo. It's a standard sort of ploy to just build the excitement. Like that. Then we come to the only note which isn't in the E major pentatonic. At this point we're going to the F sharp minor chord, which contains an A note, and he bends this F sharp note here, this 14th fret note, up a minor third, up 3 semitones to an A note. Like that. So like that. So good test of your string bending prowess there. And after that we're into the final little descending lick of the solo, which is this. I'll play it nice and slow. And that's all played like in semi-quavers, 16th notes. So if you want to practice that up to speed, you're basically getting 4 notes per click. Something like that. And that's what it sounds like up at a more kind of target speed. So, nice little solo, very short and succinct and to the point, and it just fits the song perfectly. You've got a nice kind of melodic thing going on there where he's honing in on the actual notes and the underlying chords. A little bit of kind of old school classic rock flashiness, and you know the way it builds and kind of goes up an octave and then comes back down. It's just, I think, a perfectly constructed solo. So have some fun with it. And as always, there is a full tab and a jam track and that clip that you've just seen of me there playing and explaining the solo. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. As a special little thank you to all of my wonderful Patreon supporters. Thank you, chaps. It is really, truly appreciated. I'm so grateful, I can't tell you. And that is pretty much the video for you today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful and maybe even a little bit inspiring. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. If you're interested in supporting the channel, as I say, there's the Patreon thing. It's $3 a month and you get all of these like extra little resources that go along with these YouTube lessons. Other than that, there's courses you can enroll on. You can buy a fret zealot and get a little bit of money knocked off using my discount code. All of that stuff is down there in the description where you would expect it to be. Thank you so much if you're doing any of those things to help me keep the lights on around here. And thank you in advance if you're thinking about doing it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.